Hey all, just a quick stop along the way before we dive into the next episode. As you can see, I am buying a new ship. This is a Mercury class heavy battle cruiser with what looks like maybe double the armaments I had previously, and it's supposed to be boasting heavy armor and all that jazz. Just in case you get a surprise when we dive into the next episode. Anyway, I'll see you there. In our previous episode, we'd gotten our captain into a whole lot of trouble. Now we're going to try and dig ourselves out of it with our next chapter, Enemies at the Gates. Returning back to home base, let's see how this goes.
Captain, I'm picking up signals from an abandoned ship full of credits and weaponry in a direction that's totally opposite from the headquarters.
Let it go already. We know you don't have a dissuasion protocol.
Activating hibernation protocol.
You've got a lot of courage to show up here after what you've done.
We didn't come here to fight, Commander. All we want to do is talk.
Why don't we talk about how you stole part of the fleet of the Interstellar Republic? Or better yet, why don't we talk about how the captain who's with you betrayed Admiral Flynn and his men?
Admiral Flynn was under the command of Nartos. I acted according to what would be expected of a soldier of the Republic.
Tension continues to grow between the two sides. This is a particularly tricky situation as neither side is really looking for armed conflict but are unable to give in. Admiral Kendra Mason had been right about Flynn. She warned you several times and even protected you in battle when you almost let them capture Banner. If there is one thing you have learned from her, it is that she is not the kind of person to enjoy violence, even if she is exceptionally good at administering it. This may end up being one of those times where there is just no other way out. If you want to win the war, you need headquarters and the support of all the captains, even if you had to win it by force. I finished him off and I'd do it again. Oh boy, here we go. Admiral Darrell Flynn leaked information to the Children of the Sun about the recovery of the Genesis and the attack on the Phoenix. The first chance he got, he shot me in the back like the dirty rat he was. To keep believing in that man is to kiss the ass of the Children of the Sun.
We won't deal with traitors like you. We'll avenge Admiral Flynn.
Then die.
Think carefully about what you're doing, Commander. We don't want any unnecessary blood spilling.
You will not set foot in the headquarters. Captains, to arms!
You've made the wrong choice, Commander. Take them out.
maybe switching from rapid-fire weapons to artillery wasn't the best idea. And it's over.
We must land. Get ready. The battle isn't over yet.
We'll go ahead and secure the landing, Admiral. See you on the ground.
The ship definitely seems to be able to take a lot of punishment, though. I basically just stood there and let them have it. Headquarters. Your ships remain in the sky out of reach of the defense systems, the tension so thick you could cut it with a knife. The war has not only taken a large number of your men, but has also left the chain of command hanging by a thread. Zhao, Scott, Flynn, the three pillars that supported the Republic had died alongside most of the high-ranking officials, leaving a handful of officers in charge of the biggest military conflict the galaxy had ever seen. Mason has not just proven herself to be a capable leader, but also sacrificed her own reputation to defend the values of the Republic. Now below you, hundreds of soldiers await her words, ready either to follow her into battle or to execute her as soon as she sets foot on the facilities. Mason is well aware. What she says could determine the future of the fleet. Keep listening. Really, Neil? You dare question my orders? At your age, I'd already bled for the Republic in a dozen battles. What have you done? You just kept yourself busy under the desks of the higher-ups to gain influence. The Interstellar Republic will never follow someone like you. Admiral Neil Marsh. The Council chose me, Mason. The Republic is fed up with foolish soldiers who are driven by their bloodlust. Under my command, we'll achieve a new era of peace and prosperity. We'll pact our surrender with Emperor Nartos himself, if necessary. I won't let the Republic fall into this war. You've never understood. Marsh, Xiao, and Scott must be turning in their graves. Keep listening. They both look at each other through their terminals. Mason maintains her calm, proud appearance, in sharp contrast to Neil Marsh's aggressive tone. Your rank has the same value as your honor. As of today, all officers designated by Flynn will be relieved of their duties. One by one, we'll investigate your relations with the former admiral. We won't tolerate any more infiltrators. I'll say it one last time. Soldiers, open the door. Don't do it. They'll massacre us like they did at Hedron Gix. The controllers seem confused as they watch the argument without knowing what to do. Crew, to your stations. A loud siren announcing the opening of the spaceport rings out among the sound of the engines. What the hell are you soldiers doing? Close the bay doors. To arms, to arms. Admiral Mason, we don't have much time. We've blocked the port's manual closing. We must land as soon as possible. The defense protocol will be activated when... You hear the sound of the shot that ends his life, splattering the terminal's camera with blood. Quickly. Immediately you dive towards the spaceport's entrance, trying to dodge the projectiles launched by the ground defense systems. As you give orders to your crew, time stands still and you hear the explosions of ships that have been hit. You fire back trying to disable the turrets, but there are too many of them. Kendra Mason's ship starts landing, and now it is your turn. Once on land, you will have to advance through headquarters, repelling anyone who opens fire on you. There will be no way of knowing who is your enemy beforehand. Land. And the gangway and the crew and you, weapons in hand, disembark among gunfire from both sides. Neil Marsh's faithful have taken defensive positions, trying to prevent you from landing. You can see Kendra Mason leading the command, shooting non-stop at one of the building's entrances, where several soldiers are taking cover. Captain, we must make our way to the Admiral's office. Will not end until we finish Marsh. We'll cover your back. You advance through headquarters, covering Mason, who leads you through the corridors. Chaos reigns in the facilities, comrades in arms shooting at each other, captains falling at the hands of their own crew. One shot grazes your head, bringing you back to reality. You have to concentrate on the mission. This attack will decide the future of the Interstellar Republic, and all that is left is to go through that door in front of you. The control room is empty. Normally, a dozen soldiers would escort the Admiral in his duties. You had assumed that Neil would have barricaded himself there waiting for you. But it seems that this is not the case. You hear a sound from under one of the tables and approach carefully, kicking a chair out of the way. Neil is crouching underneath, sobbing. Marsh, I thought you were a fool, but I didn't think you were a coward, too. You should have surrendered headquarters when you had the chance. Believe me, if I had been Nartos, this would have ended much worse for you. Arrest Neil Marsh. You pick up Neil by the arm and put handcuffs on him with the intention of taking him to the cells. The game was over for him. With Kendra's troops on the ground and the support of the captains who have rebelled against him, Admiral Neil Marsh's mandate has just been ended. Don't bother, Captain. I will save you some work. Mason draws her weapon from her belt and points it at Neil. Don't do it, Admiral. That is enough. This man has preferred power to the Republic. He doesn't deserve to be taken prisoner. I know, but we are not like them. The Interstellar Republic cannot be reconstructed through revenge. Let's take him prisoner. He'll have time to think about what he's done. Kendra Mason puts the gun away again and nods for you to get him out of his sight. Headquarters is yours again. I'll take him to the cells. Headquarters has been conquered. Kendra Mason's victory has placed the facility under her complete control, and the preparations for the final battle are already on track. It has been barely 2 weeks since the battle, but one would hardly be able to tell. Kendra has taken charge of putting back into operation the ruins left after the battle. You walk through one of the training domes to head to the command room, where you would meet the Admiral. After a few weeks without having heard anything from her, she has summoned you along with the crew and Dr. John Banner. Meet with the Admiral. You enter the command room where the Admiral awaits you next to Jesse Bradley. You cannot understand why this man is one of Mason's most trusted. Greetings, Captain and Dr. Banner. John seems to be in low spirits, but that is not surprising. Lately his life has gone haywire. As far as you know, he has been operating for the Interstellar Republic for years, where both himself and his wife being involved in the middle of a conflict of such magnitude is too much to handle, even for him. Captain Schmidt at your service, Admiral. Admiral Kendra Mason, I think it's time to clear up some issues, Dr. Banner. As you know, Nartos has been looking for you for a long time. We couldn't help but wonder why. Don't misunderstand us. We don't doubt your skill. But why is the most dangerous man in the galaxy looking for you so desperately? John Banner was the team leader of the Genesis project. Currently, the Genesis is under our control. Although Nartos could have captured it, he wouldn't have been able to get it. In which case, I don't grasp the desperate interest of the Children of the Sun have in Scott's ship. You're all aware of her firepower, but Nartos was able to vanquish her on Tacit Stella. Why bother to repair her again, if he can already count on his own massive army? The team of engineers is trying to recover the ship, but their efforts are completely in vain. Repairing the ship's mechanical systems has been relatively straightforward, but for some unknown reason the ship is inoperative. When it arrived at our docks, the central module of the artificial intelligence system had disappeared, and the ship does not respond to any of the My systems we have tested. John, what's going on here? Dr. John Banner. It's been almost 20 years since I left my teaching post at Encliffe, when the Interstellar Republic knocked on my door offering me the position of head researcher of the galaxy's most skilled engineers. I thought it would be the greatest scientific opportunity I'd ever had in my entire career. Now I realize it was a terrible mistake. The Republic was looking for the deadliest weapon known to man, and I assure you we almost got it. Hydra, a lethal weapon that would have been the key to taking control of the whole galaxy. With the theories formulated, we soon began to experiment with the first prototypes, with several advances far above the current My systems. An artificial intelligence system capable of commanding entire fleets on her own, capable of deciding and learning. Keep listening. The years passed and the research came to a dead end. The system, while functional, seemed to be acting against us of her own will. Millions of lines of self-generated code, parameters set at will, self-directed functionalities. We had gone too far. Hydra was alive and we could barely control her. Under pressure from the old council to go ahead with the project, we had our hands tied. Only Admiral Xiao and Captain Scott really understood Hydra's true implications, so we got to work. As the person in charge, I should have destroyed Hydra for good and assumed all responsibility, but I was afraid. We had worked on her for years, and the investment had been astronomical, even for the Interstellar Republic. We could not simply destroy her without raising hundreds of questions, so from that moment on, the scientific team focused on containing her, limiting her full potential. With the new system we designed under the name Genesis, we sealed Hydra by keeping her under control at the cost of reducing her power to the minimum level. Don't tell me that. Hydra had been contained within the My core of Genesis, designed to serve as a barrier and prevent her from becoming destabilized. The Republic had obtained the deadliest ship to date, a ship capable of competing hand in hand with entire fleets, thanks to the monster that slept inside and struggled to get out, the Genesis warship. Knowing the truth, former Captain Scott didn't think twice. She would be in charge of serving for the rest of her days as the warden of what the Interstellar Republic had created. Without further ado, she called upon her most trusted men to serve as her crew, and left Tacit Stella. Keep silent. You remain silent. The story has left a knot in your stomach. Dr. John Banner. With Hydra under his control, Nartos will have the galaxy at his mercy, as long as he can control her. Otherwise, I don't even want to imagine what Hydra could do by herself if she were unleashed. Admiral Kendra Mason. All is not lost. If Nartos is looking for you, it's because they haven't been able to access the core, which gives us some time. Dr. John Banner. You overestimate my capabilities, Admiral. Sooner or later he'll get access to the core, and that will be the end. I don't think so. As everyone looks at you in bewilderment, you show the core of Genesis. Dr. John Banner. That's it! You answer, we rescued the My core from the Genesis when my crew and I found it. We wanted to know exactly what had happened to Scott, but it seems that we have in our hands what NATO seeks so desperately. No wonder the science team couldn't access her. Banner, it's unfair of me to ask you of this, but we must rebuild Genesis. I fully understand the risks, but we have no other options. After the battle with Flynn, our capabilities have been greatly diminished. The only thing that can balance the scales is the weapon Nartos is looking for. Dr. John Banner. Hydra can't be controlled, Admiral. She's too powerful. With enough time and the right personnel, maybe we could rebuild the ship and contain her, as we did some time ago. No, nothing will change. The best thing to do, now that you know the truth, is to destroy Hydra forever. Banner's right, it's too dangerous. Admiral Kendra Mason. Nartos knows the truth about Hydra. Even if we destroyed her, they won't take long to find you or any of the other project's researchers. Once Nartos is Lord and Master of the galaxy, he'll have all the time in the world to get what he wants. If we don't finish the Children of the Sun now, it doesn't matter what happens next. Banner thinks deeply. I'll do it. We'll rebuild the Genesis and strengthen security. We'll keep Hydra under control enough to beat Nartos. But not a minute longer. As soon as we finish with the Children of the Sun, we'll destroy her forever. Swear it and I'll get to work. I swear. Banner leaves the room. After your oath, he will begin work to rebuild the Genesis and strengthen the security of the core. Now that you are alone with Mason, you can talk with her. By the way, Admiral, I'd like to ask you something. I'm carrying a group of prisoners aboard my ship that were rescued in the city of Zaya, where we found the Doctor. We cannot return them there because the city is controlled by the Children of the Sun. I would like to ask them to remain at headquarters until the war ends. They have nowhere else to go. Admiral Kendra Mason. Alright, Captain, we could use some help in maintaining the facilities. They will work at headquarters alongside us while they're here, and they will be paid accordingly. Thank you, Admiral. Bradley keeps his mouth shut during the whole hearing, but does not take his eyes off you. Just from the expression on his face, you can guess what he is thinking. Admiral Kendra Mason. By the way, Captain, we have received signals from a Children of the Sun scout squadron near this sector. Most of my men are busy fixing up the facilities or beginning recruitment. I need you to take care of it. At your command, Admiral. Bradley says goodbye with a grin on his face. Bradley, you will join the captain on the mission. I trust you will ensure her safety. Either you both come back or neither of you do. He who laughs last laughs best, and used the moment to remind Bradley with a sharp glance. As you command, Admiral.
Don't stay behind. I won't die for you.
Same to you, Bradley. I hope you have better aim than when you tried to kill us.
Coordinates set, Captain. Waiting for course confirmation.
Engines at maximum power, Mai. Let's get rid of those scouts.
In the Romu sector. Where is that? Okay. Alright, so that's it for this episode. When we get back, we'll be starting with oil and water. Thank you for watching.